especially under Coleman Scott in his third season. Carolina is now on the up and up in the ACC.
Yeah, Coleman Scott's a former national champion, former Olympian. He knows what he's doing. He's a new coach. The more he's here, the longer he's here, the better this program will be.
And here you get a look at the wrestlers that'll be wrestling tonight. We're going to start at 197 down at the bottom with Daniel Chade, but we also have some ranked wrestlers as well in terms of Troy Heilmann. And the key matchup will be at 174 with Ethan Ramos, as the first match is getting underway here between Danny Chade in North Carolina, and for Appalachian State, it's Randall Diabe.
Chade, one of the 4 ranked wrestlers on this North Carolina roster. Finished top 12 last year, ranked 16 or 17 right now in the country.
And as you saw in the opening graphic, that Appalachian State won a couple of dual meets in their first home matches of the year in Boone.
And really, for the Mountaineers, they're just picking up right where they left off last season. They had a program record in wins, were ranked all the way as high as number 16 in the country last year. Actually defeated the Tar Heels as you get your first points here on a takedown. Nice 2-leg takedown there.
Yes, from Diabe, the Mountaineers took down the Tar Heels up in Boone by the score of 18-16 in the team dual meet. As we have a stoppage. There you get a look at Chade, who had a top 12 finish at the 2017 National Championships last spring and earned all ACC honors.
Yeah, and for him, is he's going to get the point for the escape here. It's been a 1-1 start to him for the duels for this season, but that one win came against Oklahoma State for North Carolina. It was just one of 3 wins in that duel against the Oklahoma State team, who's a perennial top 5 program.
And North Carolina has competed so far this year. They competed up in Virginia Tech in the Hokie Open and also had a dual meet against some good ranked opponents in both Purdue and Oklahoma State. Chade finishing 4th place in the Hokie Open and losing both of his dual matches. Highlight was against Christian Brunner against Purdue. Losing that one 4-1, but he did defeat the Andrew Marsden from Oklahoma State 13-9.
Gave a quick look over there just to check the time in this first period. Both wrestlers just kind of feeling each other out. You tend to get that in the heavier weight classes. It's not going to be as quick and fast-paced as you will in the lower ones. Chade could have grabbed the right leg there. I don't think he realized it, though.
And it's also that ability to see which wrestler is going to be the first to make the punch, and in terms of making the first attack, and which one's going to let the first attack come and then come with a counter.
There's the first move from Chade to try and grab a leg.
Final seconds here of this first round, as both wrestlers have been in the neutral position for quite some time. And with the horn sounding, referee now referencing to Diabe whether he wants to take the down position, and he will.
Diabe able to get that takedown. Only 19 minutes of ride time, though.
Diabe finished last year with a record of 18-15 at 197.
Chade trying to get high here. Now he's just going to release him.
And with the escape, Diabe's up 2, but it allows Chade to now get into that position where if he can get a takedown, he can tie things up in a hurry.
You can see him pulling down on the back of the neck right now of Diabe. Going to try and parlay that into a shot down for at least a single leg.
So far this year, Diabe is 6-3 on the year. Still a bit of conflict between the two as both of them are really trying to go behind the neck.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like much is going on, but have somebody grab the back of your neck and pull down. Nice shot right there from Diabe.
Still no takedown yet official.
Really good defense in air. Chide was able to flip those hips, turn him around. He may get a takedown himself here if he can get control.
And they're going to get the 2. So now we're tied at 3, and he's turned him over.
Some near fall points right here. Really nice move from Chade. This whole interaction, he gets the pin.
Excellent pin, especially as you said, after the initial takedown by Diabe, didn't fully get it. And with Chade able to reverse it, get the takedown, and then secure the pin, a great turn of events for Chade.
That's a redshirt senior right there. Wasn't able to get really any offense going, was just kind of working his way with Diabe pulling on the back of the neck, looking for a snap, and Diabe was able to get in deep, but watch the hip turn right there. That's the reason that he was able to get position, keeps on working, finally gets the point. And at that point, I think Diabe is just gassed because he's in decent position here. Once he gets the takedown called on him, he just kind of falls back, and once he does, Chade in perfect position. And to get a pin right off the bat is huge for North Carolina to start this bout off.
Yes, that gives Carolina the 6 points in the team score. And you could see the enthusiasm from Chade, ranked 17th in the country.
Picks up his second dual win. That's the way you want to open up a duel, not just with the 6 points, but you also get your team and your bench energized.
And now we head to the heavyweight division with Corey Daniel, the redshirt junior out of Fulton, Maryland, and Cary Miller, redshirt sophomore out of Greensboro, North Carolina.
It's been interesting to watch Daniel over his 3 years now here in Chapel Hill. Has slowly progressed and turned himself into a pretty decent wrestler here in the heavyweight division, making the NCAA tournament for the first time last year.
After taking 4th place in the ACCs, he went 5-1 and finished in 3rd at the Hokie Open to start the season. Cary Miller last year going 12-8. In the heavyweight division. Getting 6th place in the Hokie Open and 5th place at the Keystone Classic. Great force from Corey Daniel, putting Miller in a precarious spot for just a second as we're midway through this first round.
And these heavyweight, just the heavier divisions in general, guys depend more on their strength and brute power instead of the speed and agility that you'll see in the lighter weight classes. You can see that right there. Trying to snap down the head, Daniel is. Get his opponent off balance. Miller's had a pretty good career himself. 25-14 through his first 2 years. There's a nice single leg shot. Positioning him behind by Daniel now.
And the quick escape, though.
And he just couldn't hold that ankle. He was trying to pull it free and get Miller down to his stomach.
Again, with the heavyweight classes, you can getting that first leg takedown and then trying to turn it is a challenge in and of itself, especially at these higher weight divisions as we're in the final seconds of the first round. Daniel with the early lead. And it looks like Daniel will take the down position, talking to head coach Coleman Scott.
That was a good first round for the Tar Heels. Daniel, a couple of good solid snaps, was able to get that single leg takedown. It's been interesting. These first two matches, we've seen a couple of takedowns, but nobody really getting any ride time as the bottom wrestler has been able to get up and get the escape. Daniel going to get a quick one here.
And now Daniel with the 2-point edge. And Miller now having to change his strategy just a bit. Obviously, getting a takedown against Daniel will tie things up. Both of these teams currently ranked outside the top 25 in terms of team rankings.
And North Carolina started the season as the 22nd ranked team based off of what their potential is, but a couple of tough duels in the beginning of the year. Pretty easy to get knocked out when you lose your first two.
The Mountaineers will have a good schedule in front of them. They're going to be hosting NC State in about a couple weeks up in Boone.
NC State the past couple of years has been a very good program in college wrestling.
Yeah, currently they're ranked 6th in the country. And definitely one of the favorites to win the ACC. Is still about 40 seconds left in this second round. And now the shot in the single leg. Transition to double leg, and that's an excellent takedown by Daniel.
And Daniel was able to do that because he's been winning the hand fighting battle. Went in like he was going to do the normal hand fighting, pulling on the head. Got Miller looking for it, and he was able to get the takedown.
Both wrestlers outside the circle, and
he may have cut himself there. He got a head to the back, to the forehead as Miller fell. If you're Dan, you don't want to give up that point with just 14 now left on the clock. Get the riding time. Keep that 4-point advantage for yourself. Putting all his weight forward, making it really hard for Miller to try and stand upright. And he's going to get a reversal. Great job from Miller there.
What a turn of events, especially at the end of the round. You're going to get a look at Corey Daniels' takedown.
Good job of getting that single leg and just continuing to drive, get deep into Miller. Finally got the legs off the mat. Miller, after getting that reverse, is going to take the down here.
Especially down 2. Going to try to force himself out of Daniel's grasp.
And it's the same thing. Daniel was trying to put the weight forward, and instead of getting caught with his weight off balance, he's just going to release him.
And now it's a 1-point game, and now the App State coaching staff pushing Cary Miller on. Try to get a takedown and possibly steal one here after Daniel took good control in the second round.
Be a great way to steal that momentum away from the Tar Heels. After the pin in the first bout, you get Daniel dominating this one. If Miller is able to come away with a win, App State can try and carry that momentum through the lower weight classes. Miller, though, has to find some offense. Daniel has completely stuffed him to this point.
Single leg shot by Daniel. Miller
doing a good job pushing the head down, but driving at Daniel again.
And the 2-point takedown midway through the third round.
Great power shown from Daniel.
Might be just enough as both players are outside. And they'll take it back to the middle.
Carolina 19 to control.
.45 seconds remaining as Daniel trying to keep the riding time on. He's now over a minute. So the 1-point escape makes it 7-5, but with a minute plus of riding time, it's currently a 3-point lead for Daniel. And now with 20 seconds left, Cary Miller's got to get a takedown. He's got to get it quick.
And I think the riding time was probably called out to Daniel from the bench once he knew he had that extra point. Go ahead and release the wrestler. Don't allow a reversal on yourself, which is an easier way to make up that gap.
And with 5 seconds left, Corey Daniels going to take the heavyweight bout 7-5 over Cary Miller.
Good effort there from Miller, especially when he looked like this one could get away from him. Continued to battle, got those reversal points, and made this one close. But Daniels come a long way in his 3 years here in Carolina. I said it's slower in the heavyweight divisions. It's just as impressive when you see them do stuff like that. They are just as athletic as these little guys.
So now after 2 heavyweight bouts, we move to the lightweight division at 125. Wrestling for Appalachian State will be DeAndre Swinson-Barr, a freshman out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And wrestling for Carolina will be the number 10th ranked wrestler at 125, redshirt sophomore Dalton Macri, who is a transfer from Cornell. And you see overall in terms of the dual meet, Carolina's quickly up 9-0 in a quick 2 points. Takedown, Macri released.
You can see the speed difference instantly right there. It's actually the first dual meet for Macri as a Tar Heel. North Carolina forfeited their 125 bout against Purdue, and then against Oklahoma State. They forfeited as well.
And he had a great year as a true freshman at Cornell, going 18-9, getting an NCAA wild card bid. Had a big upset in the first round a couple years ago, but missed the 2016-17 season after suffering an injury in the first match.
Nice shot in on the leg.
DeAndre Swinson-Barr is
You can see Barr trying to keep that right leg out wide to try and keep that base. And now finally getting the right leg. He's trying to keep Macri away from getting control. And now's where the fun really can start with these lighter weight classes, the scrambles once these guys get on the mat.
Swinson-Barr is excellent North Carolina wrestler, went to Southview High School down in Fayetteville.
He was pretty good there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a state 4A runner-up in the state championships as a senior.
43-4 record. I'll take that every year. Got to his feet, but Macri able to whip him right back down to the mat.
And now pinning that right arm back. Going to make it even tougher for Swinson-Barr to try to turn his body around.
And you can see Macri wrenching on that right elbow, trying to use that leverage to flip the body of Swinson-Barr. He's reversing it with his hips by trying to go the opposite way. Armbar here again from Macri, trying on the near side now. If you can get that left arm underneath the body of Swinson-Barr, it'll make it easier for him to roll him over.
Macri keeping that left foot inside the circle, as he has been in complete control in this first round.
Good solid round from Macri here in this first one. When you're going against a freshman, a round like that can get into their mind. You got a couple easy takedowns, your riding time at 1 minute and 50 seconds. That's a dominant first round for Macri. See how Swinson-Barr can respond to it.
Swinson-Barr has competed in 4 matches this year. And this could be an escape. It looked like it was close to being a reversal.
Yeah,
but
the escape is a point that Swinson-Barr will be happy with, because that could have been a reversal and a very precarious situation for him where Macri could have turned it into some near fall or possible pin. First shot we've seen from Swinson-Barr, stuffed by Macri, nice sprawl. Wrestling with one eye as that headgear is down over his face. Doesn't matter though.
He's back in control now, up 7-1. And as we mentioned with Coleman Scott, the head coach, looking over Macri, he's obviously wanted to help make the lighter weights was kind of his specialty. As we said, NCAA champion at 133, especially his career accomplishment, winning the bronze medal at 60 kilograms at the London Games.
Yeah, and he was competing just last year, still trying to qualify for the Olympics prior to the wrestling season started. So Coleman Scott, being so young, still in touch with the wrestlers that are out there today, he actually gets out on the mat and can help these guys. And I don't think there's a better way to coach than actually to be out there in the thick of things with the guys that you're trying to teach.
Yeah, especially when we get to some of the next weight classes. We've got Zach Sherman at 133, a freshman. AC Headlee, a sophomore, at 141 will be wrestling for the Tar Heels as Macri brings Swinson-Barr back down onto the mat, not giving him any room.
And you can see the riding time. It's at 2:30 now. If he's able to finish out this round, that means that's a guaranteed point for him no matter what next round.
And with
you can start turning your attention at that point towards a major decision or a technical fall.
And stall warning issued as Swinson-Barr has been unable to get any kind of movement.
Really good work on the right side. Macri was able to push that arm of Swinson-Barr down and then just slowly work the elbow in to the point where he was able to get this arm bar here. Now just see if he can flip him over and get those hips around.
So got to watch it a little bit with his left arm close to the neck. But that's going to be the end of the second round. Macri up 7-1. He has the guaranteed point of riding time.
And watch this last takedown. Headgear in his face. Keeps pushing forward, one eye. Going to see a trip. Nice quick shot. Just drops his body down, gets control of the ankles. Textbook match so far from Macri, looking for some near point.
And if he can get him on his shoulders, that would transition this to from a decision to a major decision.
And because of the riding time and those 3 takedowns in the first 2 rounds, Macri can take a couple more chances here and try and get either the fall or the near falls.
Stoppage here with about 90 seconds to go. And this is going to be an excellent young man for North Carolina, especially at the 125 mark. He's going to be having some good matches, especially when they play NC State against Sean Foz. That would be the two guys stay at the top. That could be a top 10 matchup when the Tar Heels face the Wolfpack, as you saw Swinson-Barr with the escape.
That was more of letting him up, and that's trying to get more points. It's been easy for Macri to get these takedowns. You want to try and get to that technical fall or major decision area, you need to get more points. Let your guy up, take him down.
And now he is in the major decision category with the riding time. Another escape, letting him up.
And he's not going to rely on that riding time. He wants to get it in regulation here.
50 seconds to go, and that's another quick takedown. Just the impressive speed.
And he's done it so many different ways. We've seen him try and just go for the single leg, the double leg. That time he was able to whip the head out of the way and then go after the legs. And at this point, just look for him to continue to ride on top, try and find a way to roll him over and get that fall. Otherwise, he'll just be content with taking the major decision points.
Dalton Macri, who is an all Ivy League performer in his first year as a true freshman at Cornell, now a Tar Heel, and he's going to be a strong performer for North Carolina this year after an impressive major decision over DeAndre Swinson-Barr. And that pushes Carolina's lead in the dual meet to 13-0 as you see some of these excellent takedowns from Macri, Kyle.
Yeah, he really was just in control. He got the first takedown immediately as soon as we got this bout underway, and from there just dominated his way and a pinfall. I'm sure Coleman Scott could not have asked for a better way to get this one underway. see if the freshman here can keep it going.
Yes, it's Zach Sherman, freshman out of Isla Mirada, Florida. He has been off to a great start in his first year as a Tar Heel. He's an excellent performer, excellent wrestler in high school. Helped leading Blair Academy to 3 Prep Nationals teams titles and was the Prep National Champion at 132. As he's taking on Cody Russell, a redshirt freshman from Atlanta, Georgia.
Russell's got the underhooks there. You can see the left arm underneath the armpit, putting all that weight down on the head. Makes it hard to breathe. Russell, a good wrestler in his high school career, redshirt freshman, went 220 and 15. How about these for finishes, Brian? Freshman year, finished 4th. Sophomore year, 3rd. Junior year, 2nd. Senior year, finally gets over the hump and wins the Georgia State Championship.
They initially had a moment there against Sherman. Both of these guys did well at the Hokie Open. Sherman taking 3rd, and Russell taking 4th.
As far as the duels go, Sherman has lost his first 2 for Carolina, but give the freshman credit. He's been close in both of them. Ben Thornton for Purdue beat him, but it was 7-4 in that one in their first duel. And then in the second one, Cade Brock is a number 3 wrestler and the weight class. He only earned a 2-point victory over Sherman in that match. It was 5-3.
Just about a minute left in this first round. It's so far been a stalemate as we're seeing more and more. It looks like Sherman coming from lowering his center of gravity, trying to spring up in terms of his attack against Russell.
Russell gets really low in his stance. You can see when the wrestlers separate, the height difference between where Russell's head is and Sherman's.
"30 seconds to go as
nice snap there right from Russell.
and Russell's done that a couple times in this first stanza. But Sherman has held his own, staying reactive to Russell's initial moves. Chance to get a takedown in the final seconds, but it's not going to be completed. And
first successful shot from either wrestler in that first round. Unfortunate for Sherman, it came too late, and the clock is going to save Russell. Nice confidence booster for Sherman, the freshman, going into this second round, though, as he'll start in the bottom.
false start on Sherman as you saw him react quickly once Russell got on top, and now Sherman trying to break free. Kind of Russell letting him. So Sherman with the 1-point escape as we're back to the neutral position. And both guys still trying to feel each other out as we saw a couple snaps from Russell, and Sherman almost got a takedown right at the end of the first round. Carolina has won the first 3 weight class matches, beginning with Danny Chade's pin at 197. Corey Daniel taking down Cary Miller at the heavyweight division. Very close match at 7-5. And then Dalton Macri with the major decision performance against DeAndre Swinson-Barr. Tar Heels are up 13-0 in the dual meet as we're midway through the second round between Zach Sherman and Cody Russell at 133. And
Sherman went for a sweep. Russell saw it, was able to get the leg out. There was a mistake from Sherman.
And now Russell with the edge, trying to get that right leg.
The length of Sherman is helping him in this one. Russell wasn't able to get that ankle after the mistake that Sherman made and wrap him up and take him down. And I think it's because Sherman is a little bit taller, a little bit longer than Russell is.
It's about 20 seconds remaining as Sherman getting the 1-point escape at the beginning of the round. And if he can get a takedown here quickly, that would...
Stuffed by Russell. Good strength shown from him.
3 seconds left as both wrestlers go back to center. And it will go to 0, and Russell, down 1, will take the bottom. Try to do the same thing that Sherman did and make this a tie match.
It'll be interesting to see actually whether Russell wants to go for the escape right away or if he wants to try and get the reversal. Neither player or neither wrestler really has had a chance at the takedown, so why not try and get the 2 points? He doesn't, just gets the reversal or the escape instead. But my thought is, why not try and get the reversal and get the 2 points that way instead of the takedown, which has been really non-existent for either wrestler.
And you saw the snap that Russell made spinning around just immediately once the whistle blew. So both at a neutral position. Good
nice
shot by
single leg.
Sherman.
Just got to get control here now, Sherman does. Needs to get Russell down to the mat. Nice sweep coming. There it is.
Excellent takedown by Zach Sherman. Gives him now a 3-1 lead. With both wrestlers outside the circle. Coleman Scott and the Carolina staff liking what they see out of this freshman recruit that they brought in.
They've got to be happy with the patience shown. We're in the third round and we get our first takedown. Sometimes you can see it from some freshmen. They'll get frustrated when you don't get your first, second, third, maybe even fourth shot that's successful.
And that's a good job by Sherman, keeping Russell down that time.
They did a really good job of working him down from a standing position back down to the mat.
You saw Russell try to do that same kind of spin right when the whistle blew, and he got back in the down position.
Sherman's going to be okay with that one. You want to waste as much time with you controlling Russell as you can because an escape doesn't win it. He's got to get up and then get a takedown or get a reversal to try and tie it.
And currently, as you see at the bottom of your screen, 33 seconds of riding time. So the strategy that Russell has to put through has to be done in a manner of fashion. That's a great reversal. Excellent job. And now we're tied at 3. Quick escape.
He's going to let him go and try and get another takedown to get the win. That was one of the most athletic reversals you're going to see, though.
Stalemate here. Both
Each
have a
wrestler's got
leg.
one. You may see a referee call a stalemate and get a restart in neutral.
And that's what we're going to get. 23 seconds. Sherman up 4-3 on Russell as Russell's quickly back to center position.
Look for a quick one here from Russell, a quick shot.
15 seconds left as Russell's putting all the pressure on Sherman. Great defense, though.
A really good sprawl from Sherman. Now he's in control with the leg. Needs to actually get control here to get that point. He does, and he'll get the win.
Excellent takedown. We'll take the 6-3 win, but that was a great match between Sherman and Russell, especially Russell reversing and going for the win. He put all his effort into trying to take the victory, but Sherman held his own.
Yeah, that was a very entertaining match between two freshmen. And take a look at this reversal again. Cartwheels on his head, somehow able to flip around, know where he is, and immediately gain control. This is really, really impressive right here. Unfortunately for Russell, though, Sherman kept his cool, was able to get another win for North Carolina.
So now with Carolina up 16-0 in the dual meet, we now head to the 141 weight class. And there you see redshirt sophomore A.C. Headlee Wrestling at 141 for the Tar Heels. For Appalachian State, it's going to be the junior Irvin Enriquez out of Aberdeen, North Carolina.
Nice action right away here.
And a quick takedown 10 seconds in from Headlee.
And that's been the theme from North Carolina through these first 4 bouts. It's been quick action right away, going after your opponent, getting the first points.
Especially seeing that with Macri at 125. You see it again here at 141.
And Headlee is another young, lower weight class guy that you can tell has learned a lot from Coleman Scott. Again, he's 0-2 in his dual meets, but he goes against Dean Heel of Oklahoma State, #1 in the weight class, national champion. He loses 5-2, but that's a respectable bout against the top wrestler in your weight class.
And he's also been grooming up, as you see another takedown from Headlee. He started his career a couple years ago at wrestling at 133 and moving up in weight class to 141.
And that's something that you see a lot of times with wrestlers, especially in their first couple of years. You come in as a kid and you're growing into an adult, you're going to put on some weight.
So Headlee,
he's got both arms here. He's going to try and look to flip him over. If he can push his head underneath here, if he can get Enriquez's head underneath, try and roll him over onto his back. You can see Headlee was using that leg, trying to get the hand out from underneath as Enriquez is wrapping it around.
Enriquez was 5th at the Hokie Open, while Headlee took the championship at 141.
Good work here from Headlee, almost has it. He's going to try and get that left leg into the body and roll. There it is.
And now the near fall is coming in. And this is going to be multiple points on this near fall.
Enriquez trying to roll the hips over, but the shoulder, that left shoulder is caught underneath, finally able to get it free.
Looks like it's going to be a 4-point near fall for AC Headlee.
4 points, Carolina, near fall.
And here's another chance where North Carolina is going to start looking at not just 3 points, but possibly more, and more near fall points.
He's definitely got one shoulder down, and this is going to be another, looks like another 4-point near fall, potentially.
If he's able to get one more 4-point near fall before the end of this, it'll wrap it up. It'll be a 15-point technical fall.
Just absolute class from AC Headlee here in this first round. As he's now again got that right shoulder. Good spin from Enriquez to avoid another near fall, but 12-1 for AC Headlee.
Appalachian with the first choice.
And
Dominating first round there from Headlee.
as you see Enriquez losing his contact right at the end of the round. Red, Enriquez defers. And now Headlee will take the down position.
Enriquez had a really good season last year, so it's not like Headlee is out there wrestling against somebody who isn't experienced.
1 point, Carolina State.
Finished second last year at the SoCon Championships, did Enriquez.
Quick escape from Headlee to start this second round. And that's a brilliant takedown.
Headlee acted like he was going to go high, shot low. Enriquez was too slow on the reaction. Just 1 point needed here for Headlee. Actually, I'm a little surprised he's not releasing him and trying to get the takedown.
Well, sometimes with the way that when you dominate an opponent, it's like you want to try to do it one more time.
I think he's going to look for the pin is what it is.
Yeah. That's what he's trying to find. He had it nearly twice before with those 2 4-point near falls. Especially getting one shoulder down.
One point, Appalachian.
1 point escape. As we're back to neutral.
He had gone down and tried to get that fireman, but a good sprawl from Headlee.
And now Headlee looking to try to finish this off, but that's a great takedown by Enriquez, and we could possibly see a pin. But a good turn by Headlee.
Yeah, he did a good job of getting Headlee up around the upper body. Nice quick snap to get him to the ground. That's the one thing that Headlee needs to be careful of, is not making that mistake. I just said Enriquez, a good wrestler, second at the SoCons last year. Don't leave him an opening where he might be able to get a takedown and a pin and wipe away this big lead that you've built.
Appalachian maintains control.
So now you see the coaching staff and the man on the left under John Mark Bentley, the head coach for Appalachian State, trying to push Enriquez on here late in this second round.
Enriquez trying to get that arm of Headlee so he can roll him over. Enriquez peeking at the clock, seeing how much time he has left, and there isn't much. A little frustration you can see from Enriquez.
At bench calling for possible stall warning, but that's going to be the end of the second round. And Headlee had a dominant first round, but definitely had almost a serious lapse late on. He's up 15-4. He's been in control, but
Enriquez looked good, though, in those last few seconds, about 20, 25 in the bottom position. Or, excuse me, in the top position, which is where he chooses to start. He wants to have Headlee on the ground and in control to try and get that pin.
And Headlee, though,
Enriquez trying to split the legs, gets control of the left one.
And now he's trying to turn him over.
He's going to try and pull that right leg out first, and if he can, then he'll be able to roll him over easy. As it is right now with Headlee, you see those hips really high. Good work. Enriquez able to get that leg in around. Has them both hooked around now.
Almost trying to grapevine him, especially from the hips. As now a stall warning's been issued to Headlee. He's basically been stuck in the center of the mat. And now Enriquez has one arm and trying to go for the second to eventually possibly turn him over.
He's not going to be able to, though. Headlee has control with his hips. See that right leg? He's got the knee up high. Nearly impossible to flip him over that way.
1 point for a stall by Headlee, and now Enriquez trying to make his move.
Good job by Headlee to switch from the right leg to the left and get it out wide.
You see Coach Bentley of Appalachian State and the Mountaineer wrestlers trying to push Enriquez on as he's had this position. Another stall point.
And the stall points for Headlee, because he built such a big lead, are inconsequential. Just ride it out. Let the referee call 3 or 4 of them. Get yourself the win here.
Enriquez trying to do everything he can, and now we have a stoppage.
Dangerous situation there as Headlee, his head was starting to get bent underneath him. Enriquez has really showed a lot of fight here in this third period. Just gave up too much in that first one, though.
Yeah, especially with Headlee getting those early takedowns and then those near falls. Headlee with the escape. And it's going to be an excellent major decision win for AC Headlee, taking it 18-6 over Irvin Enriquez. And through 5 matches, Carolina has won all 5. As you get one final look at what Carolina has done, beginning with the pin from Danny Chade. They're up 20-0 in the dual meet here on ACC Network Extra. Decision wins by Dalton Macri and AC Headlee at 125 and 141.
And the theme through all of this has been North Carolina has gotten off to a fast start. They got off to a fast start in the match with the pin. They've gotten off to a fast start in every bout by getting early and quick takedowns.
And now wrestling at 149 for Carolina is Troy Heilmann, redshirt senior out of South Plainfield, New Jersey. And wrestling for Appalachian State is the sophomore Gavin Londoff out of St. Louis, Missouri.
And this is one of the things that's interesting, and I really like it about wrestling, is you're earlier in the year. This is the second time these two have wrestled each other already. At the Hokie Open, Troy Heilmann got the win over Gavin. It was a close one, though, just 2-1. But it's fun to see in the weeks, the months that are different between the matches between these wrestlers, how everybody has grown. What have they worked on? What have their weaknesses? Have they become strengths? Or vice versa?
Troy Heilmann, ranked 10th in the country at 149, has made it to the NCAA championships in 2 seasons and is looking to potentially make a third trip after finishing runner-up at the 2017 ACC championships at 149.
He's really had a strong last half of last year and beginning of this season.
Currently 7-0 on the year, as you said. He won in his weight division at 149 at the Hokie Open, and he won both of his dual meets against Purdue and against Oklahoma State.
That win against Purdue, he pinned Austin Nash. It was the only bout that North Carolina won that entire duel.
But the middle weight classes is a good qualifier. As we talked about earlier, how Coleman Scott was a great coach, especially for the lighter weights. John Mark Bentley, who was a 3-time ACC champion at North Carolina, he wrestled at 149. And usually these weight classes are kind of his bread and butter.
We'll need to pull an upset here and have a couple other wrestlers really have some strong performances with that 20-0 lead on the board for the Tar Heels. They've almost got the duel wrapped up.
Still about 30 seconds left as you see the first shot come from Heilmann. He's got control of Londoff, now trying to turn his body around, but
Londoff holding onto that leg. He doesn't have the 2-point takedown yet. Heilmann's got to get that leg free in order to get it.
10 seconds left. Londoff trying to hold on.
This is all about strength from Londoff if he can hold on to that leg of Heilmann.
He's got a firm grip on it. And that's good execution defensively from Londoff. And we are scoreless after the first 3 minutes. Heilmann electing to take the down position.
Yeah, Heilmann did a good shot on taking the shot that was given to him by Londoff. When you're going in and you're slapping and you're trying to get positioning, go in with an intent. Londoff went in and just kind of lazily threw a couple of slaps, and Heilmann just dropped down, got both legs.
Quick and easy escape from Heilmann. And as you mentioned, especially from this neutral position, Heilmann's been in good control as now he has a good shot in one leg, trying to keep himself in bounds to go get the other one.
He just used his strength to avoid a takedown. Londoff was good positioning, was able to snap him down. Heilmann used his strength and now able to finally get the takedown. We saw Londoff show off his strength and not allow a takedown. We're going to get a challenge here from App State too.
And so we're going to get a challenge just to see if...
Now, it'll be interesting to see whether they're challenging control or if they're challenging that Heilmann was out of the circle before control was established. And I think it was pretty obvious control was established by Heilmann. It's just whether that foot that lifted off the ground left the mat or left the circle or not, the initial circle.
So you're getting a look at both officials looking at the replay here, especially from here on our game angle.
And keep an eye on the referee, see when he signals for the 2, and then also watch the left foot of Heilmann as they get towards the edge of that circle.
As you see Heilmann with the firm grasp.
And you can see him wiggle that foot right to the edge so he knows that's as far as I can go. This is where I think the coach is challenging. That I think the foot came completely out of the circle there. And now 2 is established. The 2 points are established. I think App has a gripe here. Whether it's reversed or not, it will be tough to tell. But right here, you'll see. There's a little pull away from Londoff, and that's just enough for that leg to kick away and get out of the circle, I think.
And obviously with the
good camera work
takedown that was
crew.
scored, yes, our crew led by our producer, Evan Badler. And after review, it is a confirmed takedown. And so Heilmann leading 3-0 after the takedown, and now with a minute 10 to go, he's going to try to get some solid riding time and take control of the match against Londoff.
And you could see there when Heilmann picked him up and threw him down, was trying to get him on his back. Londoff instantly rolled those hips to get back to his stomach.
Yeah, we were potentially expecting a top 15 matchup between Heilmann and Matt Zavastowski, who was ranked at 149. With him out, Londoff has dropped down from 157 to wrestle at 149. He mostly wrestled at 157 last year.
And that's a matchup that had already happened as well. Zavastowski wrestled Heilmann at the Hokie Open earlier. Heilmann got the win, but it was a close one, just 3-2. Good job by Heilmann to keep position on top there and get that riding time up above a minute.
So with the 3-0 lead, Londoff going to the down position. And after the challenge, Heilmann has been in complete control in terms of riding time too, 1.5 minutes. So he's holding on to that extra point. So you see Heilmann.
Stall warning to App. Londoff not doing enough on the bottom, according to the ref. In danger of getting another one here, just kind of laying prone and stalled.
And now he is being turned over, almost looks like maybe awarded a quick near fall.
I think he's got 2 points coming up.
2-point near fall now makes it 5-0 midway through the third round. And I think that was why Londoff was so prone. He was just scared that
Heilmann's going to release him here and look for some points on the takedown. Try and get to that major decision area.
and he's easily secured the riding time point. So a takedown would put him just at the edge of the decision level.
Londoff doing a good job of using his hands, keeping Heilmann at distance.
No takedown, both players off the circle area. And now back to neutral position with about 10 seconds left. Heilmann defeated Londoff at the Hokie Open at the start of the year, and here in Carmichael, he is going to do it again with a 6-1 decision over Gavin Londoff.
Heilmann continues his strong start to this 2017-18 season. Now 8-0 on the year. This was a critical one, this takedown that was reviewed. I thought the foot got out. Referee reviewed it, said it stayed in. He was able to get control and gain those 2 points. What he did do, though, was avoid anything besides a major decision, which gives North Carolina the dual meet victory.
So now we head to the 165 weight class. And with 3 matches to go, as Kyle Straub just mentioned, Tar Heels have secured the dual meet victory.
That'll give them their first win on the year. Now you turn your focus to individual efforts and growth and having good matches.
And for Carolina, they bring out the freshman out of Kansas, Clay Lautt. Appalachian State bringing out the redshirt freshman Thomas Fitz, as Fitz gets the first takedown here.
Another bout where we had a nice quick start in it.
Lautt finished 2-2 at the Hokie Open, losing to his teammate Anderson Pope in elimination. And another takedown, though, by Fitz. He's quickly up 4-1, just about a minute into this first round.
Working hard here, driving that shoulder into the small of the back of Lautt, not allowing him to really get any type of positioning or be able to move his body in any way that'll help him. Lautt just looks like he's trying to squirm his way out of the circle, get a restart.
Thomas Fitz currently 8-4 in his matches this year, going 4th place at the Hokie Open and 5th place at the Keystone Classic.
Appalachian maintains control.
Just past the midway point of this first round with 1:24 to go.
Good job by Fitz, keeping control up around the upper body.
And now Lautt with the escape. He had an excellent career at St. James Academy in Kansas. 3-time state champion, finishing his final season at 48-1 with 37 pins in his senior season. Also was a dual sport athlete, playing strong safety for the football team.
Makes sense. Wrestle and play football, 2 physical sports.
Currently now in the final seconds of this first round, as Thomas Fitz has been in strong control against Clay Lautt with those 2 takedowns.
Appalachian leads 4-2 at the end of the first period. Carolina has the first choice.
And Lautt, with the first choice, will take the bottom position.
Second period.
Great work rate by Lautt, but Fitz able to meet him there and
nice
bring him back to the
from
mat.
Lautt, but Fitz was with him every single step of the way.
Now gotten up to a vertical base. Able to break free, and it's 4-3 after the escape. Currently, though, Fitz with a minute and a half of riding time.
And so far, the bout has been won by Fitz in the upright position. He's gotten those takedowns. All the points for Lautt have come from escapes. Went for a shot there, but missed. Nice sprawl from Lautt. You can see the hands of Fitz up around the back of Lautt. Lautt can get one of them free, spin around, and grab the ankle. He can get control and get a takedown.
As we said at the beginning of the broadcast, the heavier weight class is more about strength. The lower weight class is more about how you use your speed. And when you get into the middle weight class, it's being able to use both, as you saw just from that moment. Both Lautt and Fitz trying to grapple their arms for position.
Nice,
and
good
Lautt with a good shot.
Went for the double. Fitz was able to get one leg out, but Lautt's got him in a good position. He's just got to make sure he gets it before this clock runs out.
15 seconds remaining in the second round. Trying to get a sweep of the other leg. Was able to bring him down and get the takedown. 5-4 lead. Though Fitz quickly back up to a vertical base, trying to escape at the horn, and he does get it. With 1 second to go in the second round, Thomas Fitz keeps his advantage on Clay Lautt. It'll be 5-5, but with the riding time, he has that 1 point edge.
Takedown was a big confidence booster for Lautt, though.
Yeah, we're getting out the first stoppage as Lautt with a cut. Small cut right underneath the eye. And Coleman, Scott, especially also around the nose. And both coaching staffs talking to their guys is this is going to be a key momentum round especially for Appalachian State. They were able to win at 157 with Lake and Cook. Strong 1 point win. And now Thomas Fitz looking to make it 2 straight as he's gotten back to a neutral position. It's now 6-5 in favor of Fitz.
Was able to spin around to a seated position and then face Lautt.
Good shot by Fitz, getting down low and getting the left leg. Lautt unable to try to turn his body around. Now in a precarious spot.
Fitz trying to get low onto that ankle. Lautt trying to keep the head of Fitz down. Not going to be able to do it, though.
Fitz now with the 8-5 lead. Quick release. Trying to maintain his edge. He has, you see, that 125 of riding time.
Fitz went for a shot, didn't get it. Laut's got to get around here. If he can get the points, can work on that riding time, which right now sits at 125.
A good spin, though, from Lautt. Coleman Scott telling him to push out. It's now 9-8. Currently, though, with the riding time, 10-8. So with 30 seconds left, Clay Laut's got to get another takedown.
We want him to go for the shot here. He's been patient, but maybe a little too patient. Time running out.
15 seconds left as Coach Scott and the coaching staff telling Lautt to push now. 10 to go. And good defense, though, by Fitz. Able to get a snap, bring him down to the mat, and that's going to be another win for the Mountaineers. A 10-8 win for Thomas Fitz on Clay Lautt. Fitz got on Lautt early in the first round and was able to hold on late.
It was just yet another entertaining bout there.
And now we are getting ready for the they say, the main event here at 174, a top 20 matchup as you see the Mountaineer wrestler Forrest Przybysz, redshirt senior from Jefferson, Georgia, will take on redshirt senior Ethan Ramos. Ramos ranked 11th in the country, and Forrest Przybysz ranked 20th at 174.
In the finish to last year, probably not how Ramos would have liked it to have gone, but the former All-American back in top form again this season. Took third place for the Tar Heels at the Hokie Open. Was actually able to defeat his opponent right now, 6-4. Looking for the takedown early.
And Przybysz losing the shot against Ramos as Ramos brought him down for the early 2-point takedown.
You can see him holding that leg of Ramos right now. Wasn't allowing him to get around.
Carolina maintains control.
Ramos was the 2016 ACC champion, wrestling at 165 a couple years ago, moving up to 174. Forrest Przybysz also wrestling at 165 last year, getting second place in the SoCon Championships. As you mentioned, Przybysz got the better of Ramos at the Hokie Open, finishing in 4th place and then taking 3rd place at the Keystone Classic. And with the escape, Ramos with the 1-point lead as we're at the midway point of the first round. Przybysz with the shot on the left leg of Ramos.
Ethan is so strong. There's a lot of times where somebody may be able to get in and get close, maybe get a leg, but he's still able to break free.
Przybysz getting a look at the clock as we're into the final minute of the first round, and another good shot by Ramos.
Looks a lot like the first one where Ethan was able to get the 2-point takedown to start this bout.
No takedown yet as Przybysz got up to a vertical base and now trying to secure a takedown of his own. Both wrestlers forced outside the circle.
That's good defense there from the App State wrestler. Literally just dragged Ramos out to avoid that situation.
So still 2-1 in favor of Ramos.
30 seconds. Come on, Ethan. 30 seconds, boys. Inside, hands inside, yes. Come on, your shot. 20, stay disciplined. 15.
Ramos maintaining his control, trying to get one more final shot at the end of the round. And he's going to get the takedown.
And he shows his strength off with that takedown. In on the single leg, just like the previous two. One-handed, just shoves his opponent down to the mat to get the takedown. In low, grabs the ankle, gets the knee. Now watch the right hand, shoves him down. Little sweep to help. Control around the back, and nice 2 takedowns for Ramos.
Przybysz taking the down position to start this second round as Ethan Ramos now looking to regain his control, though. Przybysz up on 2 feet, trying to get back to his vertical base, able to escape. 51 seconds of riding time for Ramos after his 2 takedowns. Przybysz hasn't really attempted that many shots on Ramos. He did have 1, but as you mentioned, Ramos so strong, able to stay at a vertical strength and Force Przybysz away. Strong two-legged shot. Przybysz was ready for it. But good momentum.
It was a good stuff, but Ramos just stuck with it, though. Was stuffed on the double leg, went for the single instead. That's what really makes an All-American wrestler is, yeah, you may be able to stop that first one, but they're going to keep on coming because they've got more than just that one move.
Injury time, Appalachian State.
And now we have an injury, potentially, as you see Forrest Przybysz trying to rotate that left shoulder. As Ramos was on top of him.
See if we can see where this injury happened. You can see that left arm being wrenched back by Ramos here. And the hand waving. Letting the referee know that he was in a situation that is, in college, they call them dangerous situations. They'll blow the whistle and get a restart.
And with it, Ramos now in the bottom position as Przybysz is trying to gain some momentum back, though. Ethan Ramos with the escape. Now with a 5-point edge.
He's able to get that leg at will. He's going to look to grab the head, sweep the leg, and get another 2 points.
Textbook takedown from Ethan Ramos. As he now leads 9-2 after 2 rounds.
Look for him to get that quick escape here, and if he does, another takedown will give him that major decision. The riding time not quite above a minute for Ramos right now.
Przybysz was able to bring Ramos down to the mat for just a second, but in a seated position, Ramos able to get up. And now up 10-2. He now has the major decision in front of him. Looking to sniff this one out and put this to bed, as Ramos has been in complete control.
This will be a match that Ethan definitely will be happy with as he goes in for another shot. Nice sprawl. But a handful of takedowns from Ethan in this one have got to make him happy, as long as he's able to hold on and get this win. Another shot, powers him down.
Now it makes it 12-2 in favor of the redshirt senior Ramos.
He's going to get that arm behind him and try and roll him around again.
An excellent textbook performance from Ethan Ramos. The major decision victory over Forrest Przybysz. 12-2. Now gives Carolina a 27-6 lead in the dual meet, but these were some excellent takedowns.
And for Ramos to get this win, not just to get a win, but to get the takedowns and have the ability to get that shot anytime he wanted throughout a match against another ranked opponent in his weight class. Really, really impressive. Big confidence builder for Ramos. One more left, though, Brian.
The final match taking place at 184, wrestling for Carolina. The redshirt junior, Chip Ness, out of Duluth, Georgia, and wrestling for Appalachian State out of Lawrence, Kansas, redshirt freshman Alan Clothier. Clothier at 184 has been off to a great start. In his weight class, Chip Ness actually performing in his first dual meet of the season.
It's actually his first appearance. Didn't wrestle at the Hokie Open either. But Chip has been around for a while. The redshirt junior, he's been here. He knows what's going on, and he's one of the few hangovers from prior to Coleman Scott being here in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, he previously wrestled at 197. And was an NCAA qualifier in 2016.
Clothier was in a better position to try and get control and have the 2-point takedown, but almost gave it up. Great sprawl.
As both wrestlers trying to get an edge for the first takedown here at the midway point.
If Ness can get those shoulders up and then drive into the hips of Clothier, he'll be able to force him over. It's a great scramble for 2 points from these two right now.
Both wrestlers stuck in a stalemate, and now you see Clothier breaking free from the challenge of Ness. And both wrestlers will go back to the neutral.
They both kind of on their knees gave each other a big sigh. Like, whew, that was a long time going, but nobody gets a point. Quick shot.
Clothier getting the left leg of Ness. Clothier had an excellent start to this year, 12-2 in his 14 matches at the Hokie Open. He lost his first match, but then was able to win his next 7 to take 5th place.
Ness almost had him rolled over, but gives up and will just take the 2 points on the takedown instead of the pin attempt.
And now Ness trying to spin Clothier around at the end of this first round, but with Ness putting Clothier in his tough prone position, he's not really able to go anywhere. So after a long scuffle at the start of the first round, Ness getting the last laugh and with the 2-point edge. So Chip Ness taking the bottom position.
That first round, I guarantee you, took a lot out of these wrestlers because there was so much scrambling going on between them.
Quick escape. And now Chip Ness up 3-0. As you said, how much energy they put out in that first round. It's going to really test these guys to see how much they have left in the tank, both physically and mentally, as Ness tries to hold on to his lead that he formed at the end of the first round. Evaded the shot from Clothier. Tried to get one of his own, but
needs to roll that shoulder over.
Again, we're in this same position that we had in the first round, and now a good takedown from Clothier.
And he's in a really dangerous position right now, too. Clothier gave him just enough separation that Ness was able to roll those hips and get to his stomach.
And just at the end of the first round, Clothier putting Ness in the same position that he was at the end. Now getting some riding time of his own. Still trailing by 1, trying to shoot the half and put his shoulders down. And he's putting his entire weight on his upper back and his shoulders is Clothier. Into the final 10 seconds. Ness trying to escape and get to a neutral position, but it's right at the horn. So it's 3-2 in favor of Chip Ness as you get a look at this takedown.
And really close to a pin as Ness just got caught on his back in a seated position. Good job from the redshirt junior, though, to able to finally get those hips turned over. If he had another second in that round, he would have gotten a point for an escape as well.
Ness with the 1-point lead as Clothier took the bottom position and almost spun Ness over into potentially a pin.
He's close to getting the near points. He's going to get a couple now.
2 points.
Near fall for Ness.
Now 5-2.
Riding time won't be a factor in this one.
Starboarding Appalachian.
Clothier almost reversed out of that one and had position himself.
He gets the escape. And now with 1:04 to go, Clothier a takedown away from tying this up. Trying to finish this meet strong for the Mountaineers.
And here's where that first period comes into play. Did it take enough out of the tank that for this last 60 seconds, Clothier doesn't have enough to get those 2 points? You can see him peeking at the clock. Ness holding on to those legs, though.
Also, even the scuffle that they had in the second round when Clothier did get the takedown. Story of this match, mostly the wrestlers being in those tough positions where both are trying to get an edge. And both wrestlers outside the circle, going to a neutral at center mat with 17 seconds left. And it looks like Clothier is gassed.
A really slow shot there, but Ness is gassed himself. He wasn't able to avoid it. Just going to try and hold on.
Final seconds left. But it looks like it's going to be a win for Chip Ness and an excellent performance overall by the North Carolina Tar Heels. Ness winning 5-3. The Tar Heels taking the dual meet 30-6. We had some entertaining matches. We had some dominant matches from the Tar Heels, but their first home meet of the 2017-18 season, great success, and we have a lot of good wrestlers on this team for Coleman Scott.
Yeah, Coleman Scott's got to be happy with his performance. Really, from all of the wrestlers, they lose just 2 bouts, but things get started with Danny Chide on that pin right away, and that set the tone for the Tar Heels. They rode that wave all the way throughout this win.
So